Hey guys, so this is In the Mind, and right now we are going to be doing a MSP play recording, as well as going to be telling you a little bit of the history of the origin behind Peter Pan. This may or may not ruin your childhood, so my apologies. However, it's hard to believe that it's been more than 100 years since Peter Pan was first created. Most of us know Peter Pan as a classic Disney story about a beloved boy who never grows up. Although he lives in a magical world filled with adventure and fairies, it's not exactly the happy fairy tale we envision. I mean, that could be known, but when we think of Peter Pan, we think of Wendy and the Lost Boys and Tinkerbell, and a lot of it's happy stories, and some of us know that obviously it can't be that way. Like many other Disney adaptations, Peter Pan was derived from some dark and tragic origins. The original story was written by a man named J.M. Barrie, who had an unsettling obsession with young boys. That's kind of scary. I mean, I don't know if y'all know where we're going with this, but it sounds a bit above PG-13. The author was 6 years old when he lost his 13-year-old brother, and he couldn't cope with the trauma. He couldn't grasp the idea that he will continue to grow, and his brother wouldn't. He used this pain and his works, giving his stories an eerie undertone, i.e., the boy who never grows up. But let's check out how he was created and how he was transformed. If you like your perfect childhood, I don't know if you want to continue. So, Margaret and Alexander Barrie are the parents of James Matthew, or J.M. Barrie, who was born in the Scottish town of Cream in 1860. He had one older brother who was considered the perfect child. I mean, we all have one of those in our family. The golden child, the one who was adored, and even if he fell and cracked his skull, no one would be mad. Or if he started in a fight, he would never get in trouble. That one. Well, this golden child fell and cracked his skull after being hit by an ice skater. Very sad and cold murder, quite literally. Unfortunately, David was never the same mentally and eventually died due to the injury. Supposedly, J.M. was comforted by the fact that in a way his brother would stay a boy forever. And I think you can see where this is going. From this point on, a fascination with boys and preserving their innocence was ingrained into Barrie's psyche. But, well, I think that's kind of sad. I mean, let's do some Peter Pan clothes, because now I'm sad. Ooh, I like this new update right here. We can go into here. We can have a dog, but not a kid, J.M. Barrie said to many lovers. In 1894, Barrie moved to London, where he met and married a woman named Mary Ansell. He gave his wife a St. Bernard dog as the wedding present. The couple never had children together, and evidence suggests that Barrie never consummated their marriage. He did, however, speak about his toxic six-year marriage with Ansell and his story of Tommy and the Grizzle in 1990. Saddle! Barrie wrote, Grizzle, I seem to be different from all other men. There seems to be some curse upon me. You're the only woman I ever wanted to love, but apparently I can't. Barry and Ansel's relationship didn't last, which doesn't really come as a surprise, as they were divorced by 1909. That seems a little bit upsetting. Uh-oh. Oh, I forgot we can't do this because it can't be bought right now. And then there was the horrific and surprising story of Uncle Jim. Barry met a couple of boys in the area attached to London Hyde Park, known as Kingston Gardens, back in 1889. He noticed George and Jack Llewellyn Davies walking with their nurse. He reported befriended the 4- and 5-year-olds after meeting their parents, Arthur and Sylvia. Well, that seems kind of nice. Although I don't know about you guys. If a stranger, an old man, by this point, came up to you and saw your children, we were like, oh, hi! Can I be your friend to your 2 little boys? Now, this is an old man we're talking about. Some old man comes up and goes, oh, hi, can I be your friend to your 2 children? And looks up to you and wants to befriend your children. Well, I don't think I would comply. That is a little disturbing to me. Just a little. So, we're gonna continue on this story. The couple later had more sons. Peter, I know where this is going. Michael and Nico. For some reason, the Davies family allowed Barry into their lives. What? What? Davies family allowed Barry into their lives. After a short time, he gradually turned into Uncle Jim. Okay, like I said, horrifying, surprising, disturbing story of Uncle Jim. This is a little bit disturbing considering he wasn't their uncle at all. He was some random guy, some stranger these 2 kids saw at the park, and he became friends with them. We're talking over 30s here, guys. Ew. Every uncomfortable, yeah, I saw that. I don't really like that one. Every uncomfortable piece. Ah! No, that's bad. That's like, That's gonna be like Justin Bieber, isn't it? But that's like so bad. I like that one. Peter Pan is now an innocent, iconic character, but he made his debut in The Little White Bird, a novel loosely based on George Llewellyn Davies. In the story, a boy named David becomes friends with the narrator who pretends he had a son who died. He makes up the lie to gain sympathy from David's parents. I guess that was a story. But that's a little bit more unsettling, don't you think? Okay, we're just gonna continue. The narrator then gets uncomfortably excited when David's mom was duped. Yeesh. Now he was allowed to take David utterly from her and make him mine. In words of the book, this sounds like kidnapping. Throughout the book, the narrator makes up a story about a magical boy named Peter Pan who lived in Kingston Gardens and stays young forever. If you read the novel today, it has really creepy vibe considering how our society views predators. Come, little children, I'll take thee away. All of that mess. But instead of 3 witches, we have some man in his 20s who says he stays young forever. Looks at a little boy and says, "Wanna play in the garden? I promise you'll have lots of fun." Ah! No! autobiography titled Barry and the Lost Boys. Birkin stresses his opinion that despite the disturbing undertone in his stories, he does not believe Barry was a sexual predator. Instead, he calls him a lover of childhood, but was not in any sexual sense the pedophile that some claim him have been. Okay. I see this. Okay. You had trauma. You lost your brother. You love children. You want to take care of them. You want to maintain their innocence. And that's perfectly okay. There is nothing wrong with that. Okay, guys? Alright, we're all on the same page here. However, if you go about it in these ways and you're making these stories have that type of undertone, that's like a pretty undertone. That type of undertone, but as a writer, I mean, I don't write closely to what I'm feeling, but when I do write my horror books, I write something that I've been thinking about, something that's been sitting with, and if I can step into those shoes, I can do it. Him easily being able to step into the shoes of a pedophile and a creep sits nowhere close to home. Because in all of his files, it says that the only trauma he had was losing his brother, not being molested or raped or abused by an older man. I don't know. But, not comfy. Oh, so not comfy. So not comfy. However, I'm personally reminded of Michael Jackson's scandal. Now, he had a lot of trauma growing up, and not one bit of me believes that he was a pedophile. He had some problems with his little boy, but he wanted to show him off like Simba, contrary to popular beliefs. And he had a home, the Neverland. It was beautiful and it was childlike. But all age regression littles, hi, I'm one of you. All age regression littles, that's what we want. Personally, I think Michael Jackson was one of the first men to be a little without being a little, like knowing what that is. I think that he was an icon for the littles. Like, he had his house that way, and he still stayed close to the people. And he wanted it to be friendly, and he wanted to show that, hey, it's okay. And just because you don't give over your trauma doesn't mean it has to haunt you really badly. But I'm not going to get too far into that. Just some people view him as a child predator, and others see him as a child at heart, making up for his own lost childhood. Everyone will have their opinions, and that's fine. Either way, I think it's safe to say that J.M. Barrie's books would not fly in 2020. There'd be a big X over all of them. Oh wait, that was actually a good pair on that page. Pierre's Dungeon has more negative portrayal of the writer's books than Neverland. J.M. Barrie, the Doomers, Mariers? I don't know how to say that word. Mauriers. And The Dark Side of Peter Pan. He makes his opinion of Barrie clear and even found some incriminating evidence, proving that there was more to his relationship with the Davies children other than just being their Uncle Jim. I don't know about you guys, but again, that sounds like some incriminating sexual content. Where was it at? It was somewhere. So, we're just gonna sweep that under the rug, aren't we? Okay. Firstly, Dungeon dug up a letter Barrie wrote to Michael Llewellyn Davies, who was known as Barrie's favorite Davies child. Is the fact that he has a favorite Davy's child not strange enough? I don't know how this odd behavior didn't raise more flags. Okay, here you go, guys. Let me just put this into first person perspective, alright? Hi there, little boy. Hi, Michael. You're my favorite Barry's Davis child, okay? You're Uncle Jim's favorite little boy. Here's a letter for your 8th birthday. Don't tell anyone. And so the letter reads, I wish I could be with you and your candles. You can look on me as one of your candles, the one that burns badly, the greasy one that is bent in the middle, but still, hooray, I am Michael's candle. I wish I could see you putting on red skin clothes for the first time. Dear Michael, I am very fond of you, but don't tell anyone. Okay. The one that burns badly, because I am badly in love with you. The greasy one, bent in the middle. Guys, we all know that. I don't want to get demonetized on this video. We all know that one. I wish I could see you putting on the red skin clothes for the first time. Oh my god. Guys! Lingerie, what? Dear Michael, I am very fond of you, but don't tell anyone. Okay. Yes. Even if you have a really good reason for everything else, you cannot say one thing that is going to make don't tell anyone in a letter given to a child for his 8th birthday. Good. There's nothing you can say. Right? That's not going to get better. No matter how you word that, that's not going to get better. Let me get this off my eyes. I deleted the hair. Okay. Barry wants to watch him. Oh my god. Barry wants to watch him put on his clothes and tells Michael how he feels about him, but not to tell anyone. If that's not crucial incriminating evidence, then what is? Because I'm uncomfortable now and I'm not even the one who read it. And if a letter like this is found nowadays, there's no way that an investigation would be authorized. Oh, hi, Michael. Can I watch you put on your clothes, but you cannot tell Mommy or Daddy about this? Let me wash you, and let me be that candle. Oh, hi. Hi, Bella. Let me be the person who watches you dress, who watches you adorn your body, who watches you blow out your candles. Let me be the person who you will look up to. Let me be the person who burns badly for you. The greasy bent candle in the middle. Let me be that person. No. Here we go. We're just gonna, I don't have enough money right now, but we're just gonna put that here. Here, put Peter Pan here. Alright, this is our sweet Peter. Sadly, Arthur died of jaw cancer in 1907, and Sylvia died of lung cancer in 1910. Guess who got the legal guardian and became a father over the Davies boys? Axolotl! Oh! Uncle Barry! Ooh, Uncle Jim! Because now Not only am I your uncle, I'm also your father. And nobody can stop me from going into your room, Michael. Okay, continuing on this glorious, insightful path. Even though he wasn't their real uncle, before she passed, Sylvia left behind a handwritten letter saying, "What I would like would be if Jenny would come to Mary and that the two together would be looking after the boys in the house." Mary was the boys' nanny, and Jenny was Mary's sister. She didn't seem to want to leave Barry with her boys. Great mama intuitive right there. Yes, ma'am. Sense something is off with that creep. Otherwise, she would have mentioned him in the letter. However, Barry transcribed the will and changed Jenny to Jimmy before sending it to Davy's maternal grandmother. That way, it looked like Sylvia wanted him to be their guardian. No. No. Can I see your will? Yes. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day in heaven. In heaven. Okay, now I have the letter in front of me. I have this will, this glorious will. Hey, why does that say Jenny? It's fine. We can just make this E and I and those two N's. Oh, we can give them little hoops. Those are M's now. Okay. Perfect. Now I'm the guardian of these children. Now Michael is mine. All to myself. This glorious little lost boy's mine. Alright. Barry managed to fool everyone and ended up as their legal guardian. Although this whole situation seems bizarre and illegal, it should be noted that there is no hard evidence proving Barry ever physically abused any of the children. Alright, I mean, if nobody proved that he abused Michael, this glorious Michael, this Peter Pan, nobody ever abused him. At least, no hard evidence, although this is too sketchy to not have some type of sexual abuse. Sadly, in 1915, George Davies was killed in World War I. George was the oldest of Davies' brothers, and he passed. After George died, Barry and Michael's relationship grew closer. Off-camera audience over here is getting very uncomfortable. But then Michael left home to attend Eton College, or is it Eton College? Help me in the comments, please. And had a difficult time adjusting. He was antisocial, troubled, but became good friends with Rupert Buxton, the son of a famed baronet. Reportedly, the two friends were inseparable, spending time together in school and on holidays. LGBT. That sounds like such a sweet, like either really close best friends or something so sweet. Michael's tragic fate. Oh no. Unfortunately, Michael's fate wasn't much different from George's. He and Buxton drowned together in Stanford Pool, a large body of water not far from Oxford. It's been reported that the bodies were found clinging to each other. There aren't many details surrounding the deaths, but some theories suggest that Davies and Buxton were lovers, and this suicide was a pact. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. Here we go. The most beautiful love story of two preteen gays. Michael, we're gonna say Mikey here. Mikey lost his brother at a young age. He grew up being low-key sexually traumatized by this old man who claiming and wanting to be friended and be called your uncle. Oh! And who, yeah, we're being sexually traumatized. We meet this guy who's the son of a baronet. We fall in love. But sadly, between this scary uncle guy and being gay, not being accepted, and this time we're gonna make a suicide pact to each other to never be away from each other, to never be hurt, never be broken apart. We're gonna stay together forever. And we love each other. Michael's younger brothers, Peter and Nico, said that suicide is a likely possibility. Unfortunately, we'll never know for sure. Several years later, Peter became a successful publisher and seemed to be doing well for himself. But he destroyed all letters between Michael and Peter. He hated that his name was associated with Peter Pan. Oh, that's so sad. Peter reportedly called the character that terrible masterpiece. His son Ruffin and various other people believe that Peter was driven to become an alcoholic by all this unwanted fame and attention. Peter was the brother who appeared to be positive and successful, but sadly he threw himself under a subway train in London in April 1960. Well, this is just a lot of death for this poor family. Mom, Dad, nah, they died of cancer. Oldest brother, oh, well, you know, he was a very sad death, yes. Oh, my brother Michael, he died with a best friend that was, too close, if you know what I mean. I can't take this anymore. Too much fame, saying I'm that filthy, terrible masterpiece, Peter Pan. I can't handle it. Ooh, that subway looks nice. Okay, we need to go on to Nico. Barry, on the other hand, died in 1937 of... How do you say that word? No, the P word. Pneumonia, right? Pneumonia? Pneumonia. Okay. Died in 1937 of pneumonia. That's a funny word.
It's French.
It's French? That's a hard word if you're trying to spell it out. Cursed English. He generously, I can't speak, gave the copyright of all his Peter Pan works to the Great Ormond Street Hospital, a children's hospital. That's a bit unsettling. Yes, I'm Uncle Jim. I wrote all these stories. I had a keep it under quiet affair with this little boy. These stories are of death and grief and abuse and pedophilia. But I'm going to give it to you to share amongst all of the little kids here. All of the lost boys here. Okay. Okay. Boyology. Writers can't always predict how their work will resonate with their audience, but Peter Pan came out at a time where the entire culture was obsessed with boyhood. I told you. This was quite the strange time. This was an enlightening time. Disturbing, surprising, and unethical time. As a result, readers of the early 20th century appreciated it. It struck a more powerful chord with the upper and middle classes. Why? Why? Oh my goodness! At the time, people were getting paranoid that their boys were becoming too soft. and losing their masculinity. And for some reason, Barry, the pedophile, his stories helped. This fact was further culminated in the book Boyology by Henry William Gibson. We all know that name. That name is so... Oh no! It's basically a pseudoscience tone. I didn't say that right. I don't know how to say that. That suggests parents, schools, and other in pseudoscience?
Yes, that's
Pseudoscience. So I said it right.
Yes.
Okay. And other institutions must preserve the wildness of the boyhood. That flies a little bit too close to where I'm at.
French, they're French, and they're damn freaking not allowed shit.
Of course, today the wildness of boyhood is considered toxic masculinity. In this book, Gibson wrote, "When he starts out to be a boy, he is more a little beast." He went on to explain, "He is, though, a man in the making." Soon after, immense efforts to develop and protect the organic nature of boyhood began. No skirts, no makeup, no dolls, no cooking, no cleaning, no dance, no singing.
It's totally different from the time where they dress every boy just in the same way they dress the girls.
So sad. You want to do something? Go outside. Play football.
Football wasn't invented.
But it was something like that, though.
It was cricket.
Play cricket.
Yes. British and then cricket.
British and then cricket. Cricket. When I think of a cricket, I think of the poetry and I think of the hairstyle. A ball and hoop game? So basketball.
No.
Soccer?
Cricket. Ball and hoop game.
What type of ball and hoop game?
It's the cricket now with the tiny little hoops in the ground. And you're trying to get them all.
Alice in that Hydro game.
Yes. The ball and hoop game. That's
They
what us Americans call it.
They consider that masculine back then?
Yes. Yes, they did.
I don't know so much about toxic masculinity then.
Yes, they did, because all the higher-ups on all the...
Okay, placing Peter Pan in the middle of boyology movement was creative, but kind of risky. I guess it makes sense at the time, but if you think about it, does it really help push masculinity if boys are supposed to become men? Peter Pan doesn't really teach that. You must become a man.
No, you're supposed to say a child in Peter Pan.
So how old was Peter Pan? And this sounds like a simple question, but I promise it's not. This is a debate that's still going on. Well, actually, you might say 16. If you go by Barry, then he's 110. Well, I mean, technically if you go by Barry, he's 110 years old, at least. And Barry was born back in 1860, so technically he's older than 110. He's less than, 156, but he's somewhere around there. I mean, if you have to go, he's... And actually, in one of the original stories, he was 12, so... Peter Pan's defiance is read as an adaptation. Why is there a B in that word?
Adaptation?
No. It's adaptation. ABDICATION. Why is there a B in that word?
Adaptation.
You can't even say it.
I can't say that word.
Of the responsibilities of... Come say this word.
Patriarchal. Patriarchal.
That's not how you say that. Pie. It's someone says a pie. It's a patriarchal.
Patriarchal.
Patriarchal?
Yes.
That doesn't sound right. Patriarchal.
That means you're supposed to stay in the family.
Yes, it's a patriarch. Heterosexual masculinity. Blah. Heterosexual. Oops. Peter finds a non-procreative homosocial world to be ample enough for his everlasting happiness. Well, now we love the queer story.
Yeah, but back in those days, you're supposed to keep your...
Yeah, that's what I've been saying.
In your own family. That's what patriarchal means.
So then how come Alabama gets a rap for that?
I don't know.
Why is incest mainly given to like Pennsylvania and to Alabama?
Which is true, used to be.
I mean, it's also given to royalty, but according to this, it was like supposed to be your incest and you're heterosexual, but you should surround yourself with a homosocial world. Basically, I'm gonna impregnate all you, and then I'm gonna play with the man. Well, this is just one lovely polyamorous story, isn't it? we love our polys, but yeah, like really like a gay carpool. That'd be amazing. But no, you can't laugh at me. A whole bunch of gay friends. A whole bunch of gay friends in a car. That'd be awesome. Rainbow on wheels. I mean, I can make puns. That's allowed.
Is it?
Hey, you can't take that away. You gave me this power. Oh, okay, so Barry achieved the rarest alchemy of all. That no writer can plan or predict. He invented a myth. So he invented a myth that went down as a legend that Disney sprinkled fairy dust on to cover up the dark origins and to make it a tragic princess story of a fairy tale dream. And it's one of the few stories where a male is actually the main character. However, Peter Pan was no Prince Charming. And in the original version, we come to find out it's a very corrupted flower. Okay! So,
I always like Brothers Grimm better.
Brothers Grimm?
Yeah.
I think finding out about the Barry version, I think this is more satisfying than Brothers Grimm was. Let's see if it was just her. So, if you want to add me on MSP, it's tigressmidnight. And I do respond. So, as always, she texted me while we were doing this. You guys want to? You can add these lovely people. Sweet. and this. Here we go. We're just gonna let her say it. This is lovely. We're gonna let her try here. We're gonna try as well. What's that? How did I A there? So, as always, I love you guys, and this is basically what this is going to be. There's going to be other types. We're going to do more Ruin Your Childhoods. We're going to do more types of talks. This is just one of the things. I figured this would be a pretty good way to do this. Because this is what we want to do. Now, obviously, once we get more followers, we'll make this kind of like a little bit more of a live, as we see here. Let's figure we just record this as a video first. And this is my first one that I've actually made using my computer. And we'll try doing some other types of videos as well. For our Nightcore lovers, we'll be doing that. I'll be doing some covers myself. I'll be making other songs, reading more stories. I'll post some of my own book clips and excerpts, and I'll do some of my poetry on here. Another thing, if anyone's like concerned about my voice, I change accents up in the way I talk a lot. Something I've never really been able to help, as I can fluently go through those. Also, if you're wondering why I kept saying it's part of my Tourettes. But yeah. Have a great day. I love you.